Hello everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel called Living in Hayward, Wisconsin, where we talk about all things real estate related and also about living in Hayward. I'm Audrey Miller. I'm the broker owner of Northwest Wisconsin Realty Team. We're based right in downtown Hayward. We've got a team of 8 agents, and today I'm here to talk to you a little bit about some things that I get asked about often in my real estate practice. There is the topic of camping on properties in Washburn and Sawyer County, like with a camper, not with a tent camp necessarily. So I have to say today, I don't know what the weather will be like when you're actually watching this video, but I think we might be in the coldest snap of the year of the 2024-2025 winter, or at least I'm hoping that. The high today in northern Wisconsin is 16 below. The low is going to be 30 below tonight, and that doesn't even count the wind chills. We've got 3 or 4 days here that are extremely cold. So if I look like I'm bundled up a little bit inside of my own house, this is a very cozy sweater. It feels great on a day where it's that cold. So if you're a person who lives here in the summertime and doesn't come in the wintertime, kudos to you, as there's a reason that people don't come to northern Wisconsin as much in the wintertime, or a reason why they leave when it is wintertime. So anyway, as always, feel free to reach out to me via text, email, phone call. If you've got questions about buying or selling real estate, just general questions about the area, I can be a great resource for that as well. So my contact information will be on the screen here, and feel free to reach out anytime. Check out my other videos. You can subscribe to my channel. You can share it, follow along so you can get other updates and videos that I do throughout the year. So hopefully you find this to be helpful. So let's dive into the topic of camping first. This is a question I get a lot. You know, people will be looking at vacant land and they'll have typically 2 questions. Is this lot buildable? And then, can I camp on this lot? Can I bring a camper in there? Can I leave it there for the year? So there's a question I get probably almost on a weekly basis, at least during the busy season of the year. So I wanted to give you a couple of resources and some information on this. Every county and sometimes every township has varying rules about camping. So I'm gonna have shared on the screen here the Sawyer County rules, so you can take a look at these while I'm talking, and then I'll put the Washburn County guidelines, and these were both pulled directly from zoning's website. And I have confirmed pretty recently that this is still the most updated, at least for Sawyer County. So I'm just gonna provide a few explanations on this for you. One of the main things you need to know about campers in Sawyer County is that it is divided into townships as far as the regulations. And there's 4 different options, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And each township has chosen one of those options, 1 being the most restrictive, 4 being the least restrictive. So a lot of the townships allow camping. You can have 1 camper, not more than 1 other than a visitor a couple of weeks of the year. And you have to remove your camper from the dates of December 1st to March 1st every year. So I would say that's the most popular choice. That's option 3. The other rules that go along with that are that you need to have sanitary application for a septic or a privy. You have to meet sanitary requirements of Sawyer County. This can be on off-water or on-water properties. Either one is fine. And largely, other than that, those are the main rules. Removing it for a few months in the wintertime. They don't want people living in campers year-round or trying to live in campers year-round. And then the sanitary permit requirement. You have to get a fire number. You know, there's a few other items, but they're fairly simple. So there's a chart then that goes along with this that you can take a look at here. It shows you which township, what the option that they selected, and when the town made that decision. It looks like back in 2004 is when they implemented this structure. So if you're looking at a property, you need to know what township it's in, which category it falls into, and then read the requirements for that option. And beyond that, there's not a whole lot else that you need to know about pulling a camper into a property and using it for the summertime. There's a few townships that are option 4, and those actually allow you to leave your camper there year-round. You don't have to remove it in the wintertime. As always, check with zoning on these things, but this document is pretty comprehensive and gives you the information that you need to know whether you can camp on a property or not. You obviously still need to meet setback requirements from wetlands, from lot lines, those kinds of things as well when you're putting a camper on a property. And then Washburn County has just a general overview set of rules, and we'll put these up on the screen here, that are pretty basic, and there's certain zoning classifications that allow camping and then the rest of them that don't. So that's their main way of deciding. But in Washburn County, the townships have a lot more authority as well than the general county rules. So it may be wise to call the township that the property is in and find out directly from them also. But camping is very highly permitted in Washburn and Sawyer County. So you'll see a lot of properties where they have a camper pulled in for the summertime. It's an affordable way to get a piece of property, be able to use it in the summertime. A lot of times maybe prior to building your permanent, structure there. But it's something that people can really enjoy, come up in ATV, enjoy the lakes, do boating, fishing, and all of that. I think it's a really cool thing that is allowed in our area, and a lot of people do take advantage of this. So camp away as long as you stay within the zoning restrictions. And it seems like this same group of people who ask about camping on vacant lots often ask me this question: can I build a tiny home on this lot? The main thing you need to know, first of all, you have to define a tiny home. Is that 200 square feet, 300, 400, 600? I don't know what people mean by a tiny home. They can be as little as 250 to 300 square feet, some of them that I've seen. So the main thing that you need to know is that both Sawyer and Washburn County have square footage minimums for the primary structure on your property. In Sawyer County, if it's a 1-bedroom, it needs to be at least 500 square feet. If it's a 2-bedroom, it needs to be at least 600 square feet. And I think that Washburn is pretty similar, but I'm not 100% sure on their rules. So if you're talking a tiny home of 300 square feet as your primary structure on the property, no, that is not allowed. If you're talking 500, 600, 700 square feet, then that would be permitted. So that kind of addresses the tiny home question that I get, not as often as the camping one, but relatively often.